Hello everybody, welcome to Home Machinist. My name is Jeff and this is my little machine shop. We don't have a lot, we're always working with what we have, but we're grateful for what we have. I love this shop. Okay people, let's get busy. Let's do some machining. Back on the project, all zeroed in, we're ready to cut the lugs. And then we'll be able to do the internal work. So we touched off the top, we know our depths, we know all of our dimensions. Let's cut some lugs and move forward with the project. Okay, our worn out 5/8 end mill is really worn out now, but it did a fairly decent job. I'm happy with it. And we're ready to move on to doing the internal work on this. We're going to finish dimension of 6.335. I'm going to go hit that now, and then we'll cut short. So as you heard, my Cobalt long reach half-inch end mill had quite a bit of chatter associated with it. I now have my old carbide half-inch in. I've had this end mill for a long time. It's dull. They're like 50 bucks new, and I just haven't put 50 bucks out to get a new half-inch carbide end mill. It's dull, but it still cuts, and it's perfect for the plunge we got to do to put our T-slot access points in, and put the access point for the charging handle to drop into the raceway. So we'll go ahead and do those 2 plunges, and then we'll cut the internal raceway, and we'll be ready for the T-slot cutter. Let's get moving. As you can see, the T-slot cutter is in. It's zeroed. We're ready to plunge into a depth of 1 inch, 464 thou, and finish the charging handle raceway. Okay, we have the 3/16 end mill in now. We're ready to open up the rear here. We're going to open up that spot right there. Has 94 thou radiuses in the corner. It's 402 deep to the back of the lug here, and it's 750 wide. So let's get this done real quick. Okay, she's opened up. I think we're going to call it because I got to wait for another end mill so I can go down and clear out the rest of the charging handle access right here. So we'll call this. Worked out well. Everything looks good. We're moving right along. Beautiful cut there. Right up to the back of that lug. Beautiful stuff. All right. I'm running out of air with the respirator on. And that was slower than I had been going because I ran out of air and I had to do a rescue inhaler and keep the respirator off for a little bit, and I just put it back on and ran that one pass, and it was a small pass. I'm just catching my numbers up right now, doing equal passes twice, and yeah, I'm running out of air, so I guess I gotta crank slower, which means I'm not gonna be able to keep up with my surface finish as well. So it is what it is. What do you say, baby girl? Okay, we hit our final dimension. I'm pretty sure, because I was checking my numbers and my drill along the way, this thing was dead on the whole time. 835 and 4/10 is what that looks like. Gotta get the light off. I hope this focuses. 835 and 4/10. Let me back it up a little more. 835 and 4/10. Check it in the middle. That's all I'm gonna do. I trust my machine. I can't see anything. Oh, there's still loose there. All right. 4/10, I guess, or is it under? No, it's still 4/10. So 2 places, 835 and 4/10. We're happy. That's it. I'm not going to try to bring it in any closer. We now have the Pikatinny form tool in. We're ready to finish the Pikatinny rail on the project. Everything's looking good. So let's get busy. Just hit our final numbers. Our profile was finished. A little dark, but as I put light on it, it gets too bright. So there you go. Looking good. Well, we got it out of the mill. Last operation was the magwell lips right here with the 2 flute 500 ball end mill. Everything just went smooth as glass. Everything's absolutely beautiful. I couldn't be happier with it. Yeah, she's beautiful. So at this point we need to do one more video, and I'm going to get that video done this week, and I'm going to do my best to get it up next Friday. And for those who don't know, I'm terminally ill. I have a lung disease, and that might set me back a little bit this week. Sometimes I have some issues with it. So if I do not get this completed this week and up Friday, it'll be the following Friday. But I promise it won't be any more than 2 Fridays from now. It'll be finished and done. All the long operations are finished. It's nothing but, there's still quite a bit of work to do, but the operations are short in time duration. Setup might be a little lengthy on a couple, but as for the operations themselves, they're short and fast. So we're going to finish this up and get it done. We have some lines in the bore from my 1-inch reamer. Now again, in my environment here, with what I'm working with the machine tools and the tooling I have to do things the way I have to do things. So anyways, there must have been a chip stuck on the back side of one of these flutes. I inspected the reamer well. The cutting edges are beautiful. It's a beautiful reamer. It did an excellent job, other than the fact that how I have to feed the reamer across 7 inches 665 thousandths length probably played a little role in that. Now I was able to maintain 4 thousandths wall thickness here off my center line. So my center line didn't deviate but 4 thousandths. I can handle that. It won't affect performance. I'd like to have had better, but again, what I'm working with plays a role in that. But we have some lines in the bore. I keep a little fingernail long right here. I've been doing this for years, so I can feel imperfections, and I can tell you after 30 years in tool and die and machining, those lines are only about 2 thousandths deep. When I Duracoat them, they will vanish. So anyways, beautiful. The barrel thread, I did a video on this barrel thread. It's called Pilot Threading to Die For. I have chased this thread every conceivable way possible on a lathe. And it's a very hard thread to do because the undercut is half the width of a threading tool. So you can grind a tool all day long. I'm not going to even get into this. I know the first thing I'm going to hear is going to be from somebody who has very little experience threading, and they're going to say, well, I saw a video where you can flip the tool upside down and thread from left to right. Not all threads are created equal. This thread is not one that you're going to be able to do and get a nice, healthy, robust, real precision engagement thread. I've done this thread, again, like I said, every way you can do it. The best way I've found out in this environment to produce a really healthy thread is the way I do it in that video. This is the best thread I've produced yet on one of these. Extremely healthy, beautiful thread. I make these barrel nuts as well. Threading is about engagement. You just don't cut threads and make them fit. Threading is about percentage of engagement. Commercial type threads are 70% engagement. I always shoot for 80 to 85 and even higher if I can pull it off, depending on the material. So this is my barrel nut, and my engagement is actually perfect all the way across the length of the thread. Beautiful stuff, and there's no slop in the thread. This is about an 80 to 85% engagement thread, so there's zero slop. That's how you thread. You don't just cut threads and they fit and look, I made a thread. Thread is about engagement percentages. That's how you thread. This thread turned out absolutely beautiful. Anyways, X39. I said in a video a couple weeks ago that a friend of mine turned me onto this patch, and that I would give it a try, and if I noticed anything good and that occurred with me, that I would mention it. So at this point, I'm on this patch for about 3 weeks. The very first thing I noticed was after about a week, my oxygen levels at rest. When I exert myself, I plummet very rapidly, and that hasn't changed. But at rest, I'm seeing 2 to 3 points higher oxygen percentage in my blood. I ended up in the hospital a week and a half ago. They ended up keeping me. I had an incident where I was struggling to expand my lungs. I could not get them to expand. I couldn't get a breath. They straightened me out. I'm doing much, much better. but they had my records, and they said same thing. They said your oxygen levels are 3 points higher than they've been in the last year and a half at rest. I was seeing 97s. I have not seen a 97 since I was diagnosed. Not even close. But the number one thing that I've noticed with this patch, I've had 18 spine surgeries, quite a bit of spinal cord damage. My feet have been on fire for 20 years. In the last 2 weeks, my feet, the burning in my feet has decreased by 50%, every bit of it. I have not felt anything like that in my feet for at least 20 years. The only thing that's changed in my life is the X39 patch. So with that said, I'm staying on the patch. I'm going to put a link in the description for this patch. Do your due diligence. I'm not a salesman. I'm not here to sell anything. But I did say I would mention it if it seemed to benefit me. And at this point, there's nothing changed again in my life but this, and the burning in my feet has been dramatically decreased. So, if you go on the site, you can do your due diligence, do your own research. Don't ask me questions about this, because that's not what I'm here for. But what I'm going to ask you to do, if you decide to buy this patch, please use my link, because it'll help this shop. So anyways, I'm staying on the patch. I can say I've had about 15 days, 16 days straight now with a lot less burning in my feet. So I guess that's it for this one. I'm going to get busy on the next video. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your weekend and a fantastic work week coming up. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will get busy, and hopefully we'll be seeing you next Friday in the next video. If not, the following Friday, and that's a promise. Love y'all. See ya.